Hey knitters, it's Monday, and I know that I'm coming to you in a 2D pre-recorded format, but this week I'm going to ask you to please imagine me complexly. As you may have gathered, this week is Imagine Me Complexly Week, which is something that Kayla suggested, and I think it's going to be awesome. And for the occasion, I'm wearing my DFTBA Imagine Me Complexly pin. Awesome. But basically the idea is to tell us about things that people assume about you, or that you think people assume about you that aren't true. Like common misconceptions of yourself, if you will. I've been thinking about this for a really long time because Kayla sent this idea to me a couple weeks ago, and it's a really interesting but difficult thing to think about because it's hard for me to think of what other people think about me because I get anxious and stuff. But I've thought of some things that I think apply, so here we go. You may not guess this considering I make videos on the internet once a week, sometimes more depending, but I'm really shy and quiet in real life. I don't like to really go up to people I don't know, or be involved in big conversations, or be with big groups of people. I'm really shy. That's the only way I know how to put it. When I get to know people, I open up a lot more, but when I don't know people, they just make me uncomfortable, and I don't really know what to do, and I'm super awkward. So I'm really quiet, and I feel like a lot of times people take that and translate it and think that I'm being rude, or don't want to talk to them. And it's not that I don't want to talk to people, it's just that I'm nervous too. So sometimes I feel like I come across as being rude or standoffish just because I'm not really outgoing. Also, as you guys probably know, since I'm a huge internet nerd, I spend a lot of time at home or when I was at school in my dorm room. I'm kind of a homebody. I mean, I like to go places, I like to travel, I like to do things, but sometimes I just like to be comfortable and in my own house, in my own living space, by myself, which is, I don't know, maybe that is kind of weird, but I think people translate that into spending a lot of time on the internet and spending a lot of time at home is that you don't do anything. And I feel like I do a lot of things. I do this video project with you guys, which is a way of socializing that's not really typical, and I run an Etsy shop, and I do lots of things on the internet that I wouldn't consider just doing nothing. I also do a lot of things on the internet that I would consider doing nothing, like maybe sometimes Tumblr, sometimes watching YouTube videos, but that's just what I do for fun, and different people have different things that they do for fun, and I don't know, sometimes I just feel like people think that I am a recluse, or that I don't like to do things, which isn't true. I do really enjoy doing things, and I have a lot of things that I love. So yeah. Also, you guys probably all knew this about me, but I'm an only child, so there's that only child stigma of being selfish and being spoiled and being rude or whatever, and I try really hard to not be the typical only child, though so I do realize that I can be spoiled sometimes and I can be selfish, but I think all people can be like that. So I really try hard not to be the only child, the typical stereotypical only child, but I know sometimes I might come across that way. I'm not sure. Lots of people tell me that I don't, but sometimes I still feel that they think that, especially when I tell people that I'm an only child. I don't know if there's any other only children on this channel. I know everyone except Stephanie. I feel like Stephanie may have siblings, but I don't know. But if you don't, and if any of the subscribers have ideas about the only child stigma, I would really like to hear about that because I think it's interesting to discuss. And now that I've blabbered on about myself for a long time, I will open this up to you guys. What do people assume about you, or what misconceptions are there about you that you would like to eradicate, get rid of in your video or in the comments if you're a subscriber? We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, awesome. Since I've been home, I've been doing a ton of knitting. It's super fun. First of all, I finished the Snoopy dishcloth, but I'm feeling that it's probably just looking red to you. Maybe you can see it. I don't know. There's supposed to be a Snoopy in there. It's all done except the ends. But I'm knitting another one for the person that it's for. That's Woodstock from the Peanuts. So there's that. And at the knitting group on Friday, we talked about our yarn bombing project for Colorado Springs. And I'm going to make a video this weekend, a bonus video about yarn bombing, because a lovely subscriber commenter left a comment on one of my last videos in which I talked about yarn bombing that wasn't so in favor of yarn bombing, and she brought up some ideas that I never thought of, and I kind of wanted to start a discussion on that. But maybe by this next thing you'll be able to tell what I think. I started knitting a square for the yarn bomb that we're doing for International Yarn Bombing Day in my city. The color palette is green, blue, and yellow. So I made this. The green color is yarn that my grandmother gave me like a couple years ago when I visited there, and it is terrible. It is like this nasty old acrylic thing, and it sheds everywhere, and it's so gross. And I'm glad that I'm able to get rid of it in this square. I also started another square that is this. It's in seed stitch, and it's really like knobbly, and I like it a lot. And it's in Lion Brand, like the really bulky kind. I don't remember exactly what it's called. But I had it in my stash, so I started knitting it up. It's coming along, almost done with that one. Super fun yarn bombing squares, yay. And I also started knitting the unicorn hat that I promised to my friend's boss. I just ripped out a couple stitches, which made me kind of upset, but life moves on, and it's coming along. Hat, yay. Also, I've been blathering forever, but I have one more quick thing that I want to tell you, and that is that I wrote a Nerdfighter intro packet, and this is basically for if you have any friends that are kind of interested in becoming Nerdfighters, but they don't really know what it's about, or whatever, some people you know that you'd like to become Nerdfighters. It's an intro to that. It talks about John and Hank and what Nerdfighters is, goes over some of the inside jokes, links to other Nerdfighters that are notable, etc., etc. I'm linking to that in the down bar in the Hufflepuff Common Room. And I would like to mention that John Green reblogged that on Tumblr. And I almost died. Stephanie, the cute theme that you picked while I was gone was cute. I know that you did a punishment already, but Michael also suggested that you do peanut butter face as one of your punishments, which I thought would be totally hilarious. So that's something for you to think about. Kayla, I was stuck in no internet land, and it was a little scary, but thankfully I survived, and now I'm home in internet land again. Your baby sweater turned out super cute. I'm glad that you worked it out with finding a new pattern and everything. Good work. Michael, your new haircut looks really sharp. And I'm sorry I didn't see your video on Thursday before I went to the knitting group. I totally would have picked you up. I'm very sorry. You should have texted me or something. But you have a new car now, so hopefully I will see you at the next knitting group. Maira, yay for Goodreads. I'm really excited that you're on that. I've had Goodreads for a while, but I kind of stopped using it for a while there. But now that you're on it, I feel like I have reason to be back on it, and it's fun. So yay for summer reading. Thank you all for watching this video. I've been filming for 10 minutes, and hopefully I'm able to cut this down. But thanks for listening to me ramble. Leave comments about your knitting, imagining you complexly, whatever you would like to talk about. We could talk about Doctor Who. The Doctor's Wife was my favorite episode so far, probably of all of 11's episodes. So if you want to talk about that, we can down in the comments. And I will see Stephanie tomorrow. Bye!